one of the things I was working on, LS, working on everything basically, but one of the things that we were working on that we started in the 80s or 70s, but it actually started back in the year probably 1920s or something like that, or actually before that. Whenever you became a sheriff, you'd be given a saddle and blah 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 blah, horse and gun and stuff like that, and a badge, a little star badge, of course. And I'm Lucifer Star, by the way. Like I say, LS. And you'd be given a map of your area, and also how to get to wherever you were going, which is basically, you know, where your sheriff spot is. Like I said, we try. Anyway, the point though is that finding where you are always became a problem, and finding out where you wanted to go was also a problem. Now, of course, my sheriffs actually did pretty well because we use maps, and most people liked my people quite a bit. In modern day times, we still have the maps, and now we have GPSs and all that other kind of stuff. But one of the things I was trying to do, because, you know, that's another reason why police officers always went with two police officers, you know, two people to a car, you know, one with the map trying to figure out where you're going, and one person driving, you know, kind of like a race car or whatever, but it's police. That's why you have a deputy and a sheriff. And also, so in modern days, starting around 1970, 1980, I was thinking about, because people always get lost. They still get lost, even with the maps, even with a passenger, even with the deputy saying, take a left, you know, and driving. They would still get lost. So what we were going to try and do, or start to try and do, and we spent quite a bit of money on, is doing an integrated system where the dispatch is actually like almost like an integral part with the police car and everything else like that, where the dispatch can actually just route. They work with the GPS inside the car, and so the dispatch puts in the address and everything else like that, and then it tells the car where to go. So all the deputy has to do is just get inside his car, or the firefighter. So he just gets in and turns on his GPS, and it has the route already planned in it from dispatch. So we're working on an integrated system to where, like I say, to where dispatch is integrated with the vehicles almost seamlessly. So dispatch just goes, car number 32, there you go, there's your destination. And in the old days, sometimes on the radio, they'd be like, this is car number 32, I'm trying to get to the address, blah, blah. And dispatch would try and figure it out. You know, and, you know, getting the ambulance to the address with so many addresses, it was always a nightmare. So somewhere around 1980 or so, they started working on this whole integrated system where the dispatchers are integrated with the car, and so dispatch can actually communicate with the car directly to put in the GPS coordinates and all that other stuff. And there's also like the police database and tying all that in. You know, it's actually really complicated where you're trying to tie everything into this seamlessly thing where you're trying to get it so where, you know, all the information is all there right at the sheriff's or officers or firefighters' fingertips. You know, so it's easy to do. So you can just get in the car, drive to location, and do your job. And, you know, and so we were working that from the 1980s, and there was like this test pilot program, whatever, that I'm sure was insanely expensive. I think it was like $5 million or something like that, and they were still working on it. You know, because hardened communications, you know, hacking and all that other stuff, but not that it matters. I mean, mostly we were doing the GPS, so mostly so the people can get to the address that they're looking for. Like 22 Baker Street. They dispatch would type into the computer 22 Baker Street and then give it to car number 32, and then car number 32 knows where to go. So it's just like connecting, and also we could do with less dispatchers, which my dispatch team used to be huge. But anyway, though. So, you know, I mean, running a modern-day civilization is always a nightmare, and LS, me, you know, America, basically, and some other countries, namely Germany I was, but getting all this tied in and getting all this working was kind of like an issue and stuff, and very expensive and very time-consuming. But, you know, when you have 7 billion people, you know, I thought 3 billion people was a lot, but you know, when you have 7 billion people or 4 billion people or even 1 billion people, you know, being a protector and savior and being able to provide the services for your citizens that actually makes you president or makes you leader or makes your country a great country can be an issue, because no one's going to want to be in a country that feels unsafe or where they think that that's unsafe. So staying modern day and cutting edge was always an issue for me. I mean, technology. You know, I was always big on technology. So we were working on that and trying to get it integrated. And of course, I was hearing things like the unions were fussing because I was going to be firing people or something like that. It's like, well, not really. I mean, people retire all the time, and it's really just an easier time for the newer people coming in because, you know, I mean, police officers get lost all the time, and sometimes they need backup. And so backup's coming from another state. So how do they get to where they're going? So anyway, all these issues were always big issues, and we were just kind of like ticking them off over the years, you know, getting them ticked down to where we actually have a modern day civilization. Like I said, with America, the country of flight, America, you know, I was trying to do next level. With Germany, I was trying to do next level too. I was trying to, you know, back in the old days, all you had was mud. You know, it wasn't really a real civilization. You know, you didn't have the feeling of civilization. And I've been paying a lot of money, or did pay a lot of money, to get this put into like the next generation of civilization, you know. And I really did that with Britain and a lot of the other countries, a lot of the European countries, and then bringing that to America was always a big issue. And so over the years, slowly we've been trying to get it there to where everyone's safe and everyone's protected, and we have a modern day civilization. So yeah. Anyway, so that's one of the biggest things, though, is the integrated system between the what's it called, the cars and dispatch, and that's one of the things that we were working on. So LS, yes, LS does everything. Yes, we were working on everything. I was paying huge amounts of money. It was a big bet of whether or not, you know, is it going to pay out? Are we going to be able to do something, or are we just going to go bankrupt or starve? So, and I think we did all right. So yeah.